Hello and welcome to my vintage audiophile channel. This is now my 40th video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Technics Rs-Tr575 double cassette deck that was produced from 1993 to 1997, sort of towards the end of the tape era. By the year 2000, tapes were pretty much on their way out. That being said, this is a pretty decent unit. I usually don't review too many cassette decks unless they are special. And what makes it special is it is like I said, a dual cassette deck, but it has dual record on both cassette deck wells, which was only reserved for the higher end of the spectrum of the various brands that produced the cassette decks. This came with two playback heads and two erase heads for each cassette deck well. It does have quite a few options on it that make it really nice. I'm going to turn it on for you so you can see what it looks like. Hopefully you can see in the dim light what it looks like. It's basically your standard peak level LED meter array with two separate time counters on it, and it has a nice option that I really like, but hopefully it never goes bad on me because I wouldn't know how to fix it, and that is that the open and close on these is kind of motorized and automatic. So you hit the open close button, it automatically comes down. Then you can manually push it up if you want to, or you can hit the close button and it'll automatically go up again by itself. This does have Dolby B and C and HX Pro. It has a pretty impressive frequency range as far as recording onto cassettes. It'll take normal chromium dioxide and metal tapes. It is advertised as having 20,000 to 17,000 hertz for both normal and chromium, and 20,000 or 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz for metal. That is pretty impressive. I don't know if it actually in real life does that, but that's what it's spec'd out at. It does have counter resets for both your tapes, depending upon which well you're doing. It has a balance and record level for when you're recording. It has a button for on each side, which is ATC, which is automatic automatic bias. Basically, you push that button and it'll automatically cue everything for you as far as equalization and all that other kind of stuff for when you're recording your tape for recording. It does have your Dolby B and C noise reduction button here, and reverse mode for basically doing like a one-way, both ways, or just continually going, looping all the way around for infinity. It also has a what they call a TPS, fast forward and rewind, which is a very high speed fast forward and rewind that is sensor driven, so that when it senses it's getting towards the end of or beginning of a tape, that in the fast forward or reverse mode it automatically slows down so that you don't slam the tape against the capstan when it's finishing or end or beginning, so that you don't break your tape. It does have auto record mute, which basically allows you to automatically put silence between tracks, and of course your record button and pause button. You got your forward and reverse and stop, and that is for both sides. It also has a high dubbing speed that allows you to do standard or double speed for dubbing from one cassette to the other. It does have synchro start on it, which basically allows you to either record both decks at the same time, so you get two recordings from the same source, or a synchro recording, so that when one well is done recording, it automatically switches to the second well and starts recording, so that you double the amount of tape length you have for a long recording that you're doing, like something off the radio or whatever it happens to be. Like I say, this is a very versatile system. It has a lot of bells and whistles on it that you won't find in your standard tape decks, and it makes very good recordings. I can attest to that because I've made recordings with this thing, and it has a really good recording quality. Some people complain the wound flutter is a little bit too much for them to handle, but I never really noticed that. And I will now, I've got the a cassette in deck 1. I will turn it on so you can see what it looks like in real time. It is counting right now on the deck 1, showing you the meters. I just finished a song there, so it's got a silence in between, and it will there we go, it's starting up another song. You can do the same thing by putting it in reverse and hearing the other side of the tape and whatever happens to be on that side of the tape. And then, like I said, you can do this reverse mode here to determine if you're going to hear one side and then stop, or both sides and then stop, or just keep going forever and ever and ever looping. Right now I do not have, I have it in Dolby C, and if you turn that, it is off right now, and you got your Dolby B and your Dolby C, and the HX Pro just automatically is added into the mix in the background, especially when you're recording for quiet, even more quieter recordings than without it. And that is what it looks like with deck 1. I will take the cassette out, put it over to deck 2. And show you that that's working also. The tape deck works just fine. It's going on approximately 25 years old now and never had to do anything with it, so that's a good sign. Hopefully it goes another 25 years without me having to do anything. If you're wondering what I'm playing right now, it is basically an Eddie Cochran's Legendary Master Series tape that was produced sometime around the same time that this cassette deck was produced. And I can't play the music right now, not only because of copyright laws that YouTube enforces, but because I don't have it hooked up to a stereo system. And unfortunately, the only drawback for me that I've ever had with this deck is that it doesn't have a headphone output jack, which I would like to have had on it, but can't have everything, although this one comes pretty close. So that is my review of this particular cassette. On the back, it has just your standard input and output jacks for playback and record. The power cord, like almost all the Technics components, is detachable. So if you ever do come across one of these, make sure that the power cord is with it, because otherwise you're going to have to search for the right style power cord to be able to make this powered up. And that becomes especially important if you're like buying it online or something like that. Before I did my review, I kind of looked on one of the auction sites just to see if there is any of them out there for sale right now, and there are a number of them, but the prices vary wildly. The cheapest I saw somebody was selling one was for just under $50, and I also seen some that were going for over $600 for the same exact unit. So there is something to it. There are people out there who must think that's worth that much, otherwise they wouldn't dare try to sell them for that price. And prices vary anywhere from, like I say, that around $50 to $600 something dollars, and anywhere in between. So if you can find one and you're still into cassettes and like to play your cassettes, or want to discover what everything about a cassette is about, this would definitely be a good candidate to get for a first one, or for an upgrade of something you might already have that doesn't have as many features. I guarantee you'll like it. I've liked mine, like I say, for the last 25 years, and I will never get rid of it unless it breaks down and I can't fix it, which that could happen, but hopefully it doesn't. Until next time, thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave comments for any of my videos, or this one in particular, whether it be negative or positive, or if you just have a question about some part of this cassette deck that I didn't cover. Please feel free to ask. I'll always answer your questions. And until next time, have a great day, stay safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.